Number 15, you must recognize and use the ego and greed of others to create a path to success. Yeah, you heard me right. You must recognize and use the ego and greed of others to create a path to success. Now you're thinking, all right, Dr. Phil, you're starting to play hardball now. I am so serious. You've got to understand the psychology of human nature. If you want to get people to do what you want people to do, you have to understand what makes people tick. I've said 1,000 times that from the time I was 12 years old, I have been fascinated by why people do what they do and don't do what they don't do. The world is interactive. The world is a game. The world is a competition. This is not communism here. This is capitalism. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to have the top spot in the hierarchy. Somebody's going to be at the bottom. Somebody's going to be the most popular. Somebody's going to be the least popular. Somebody's going to have the highest paying job. Somebody's going to have the lowest paying job. We live in a meritocracy. That means we advance based on merit. We advance based on what we can get done. And if you have the ability to get people to do what you want them to do when you want them to do it, is there any way you cannot be successful? I think the answer to that is no. People that can motivate others, people that can move others, people that can rally others are going to be successful. If you're a salesman, I don't care if you're selling computers or software or cars or houses or insurance, whatever, if you understand why people do what they do and don't do what they don't do, you are going to have a huge edge, a huge advantage over everyone else. If you understand that about yourself, how many diets have you been on? How many diets have you quit? I talked to a guy the other day that told me he had lost 480 pounds. I said, really? He said, yep. I've lost the same 20 pounds over and over and over again. I asked him if he knew why. Why do you start and then stop? He said, I don't have a clue. I get bored, I guess. So I wrote a book about diets, and I got into a huge survey about why people fail with diets and why they don't. And it was really interesting. One of the big items was they get bored. They eat the same stuff, they start craving other stuff, and they rebel. They get bored and they rebel. They get bored, they rebel. They get bored, they rebel. So if you're ever going to have a diet that's successful, you've got to get around boredom so you don't get rebellion. What makes you tick? Why do you do what you do? Why do you work? Is it for money? Is it for recognition? Why do you coach your kids? Why do you go to parties? Why do you do anything that you do? If you don't know why you do what you do, you need to find out. Why do you not do what you don't do? You need to find out. I was at a social event this weekend. Let me tell you something about myself. You're probably going to think I'm lying to you here, but I'm not. I'm very shy. Seriously, I'm very shy. I understand I'm on television every day. I understand I talk to like 35, 40 million people a week. And I bet you think I don't look nervous up there at all. And you know what? I'm not. I'm not the least bit nervous. Why? Because I'm task-oriented. You give me something to do in a crowd, it doesn't make any difference to me if the crowd is 10 million or 100 million. makes no difference to me whatsoever as long as I have something to do. You put me at a cocktail party with 50 people, 100 people, this last weekend, 400, 500 people. It's my personal hell. I would rather get a root canal from a bad dentist than go to a cocktail party and make small talk. It's just not my thing. I don't like it. So I don't do it very often. I only do it if it's an event for a really good friend that I want to support. And I do it because I want to support them more than I want to avoid the discomfort of the event, which was the case this weekend. So I know why I don't do what I don't do. I don't do cocktail parties. I know why. I'm uncomfortable. I'm shy. I don't think I have anything particularly interesting to say. And I'm betting you don't have very much of interest to say. I don't find small talk interesting from other people. I know they don't find it interesting from me. So I just don't go. I would rather stay home in my tennis shorts and socks with Robin and do something around the house. You hardly ever see me on red carpets and things like that because it's not me. I know why, though. You need to know why you do what you do and don't do what you don't do. What do you spend your time on? Everything has a payoff. It's easier to see your payoff when you're figuring out why you do what you do than it is to figure out why you don't do what you don't do, but it's still possible. All you have to do is say, what is my payoff for avoiding a situation? What is my payoff for withdrawing from or sitting on the sidelines in a situation? Because anything you do repeatedly, anything you do in pattern has a payoff. Now, if you just do something once, it just happened. I mean, who knows whether you'll do it again or not. But like in my situation where I say I tend to not go to cocktail parties, it's easy for me to figure it out because I ask myself the hard question, okay, what are you avoiding? What are you afraid is going to happen? What is it that makes you uncomfortable? Why do you not do what you don't do? You don't go to parties. Why do you not? Well, the question has to be, what am I avoiding? Either what am I afraid of, or what am I avoiding, or what is my payoff for not doing it? For me, the payoff is I avoid the discomfort of having to be in a social situation that is not rewarding for me. I avoid the social awkwardness of standing around with a bunch of people I don't know particularly well or wouldn't flag their cars down to hang out with them. I mean, I avoid that situation, and that's my payoff. There are negative consequences for me in doing that, and by not doing it, I avoid that. So my payoff is I avoid the negative reinforcement of being in that situation. So if there's something you don't do, like you don't practice a certain skill or your weekly reports at work, or you don't go to therapy with your partner or whatever, what's your payoff for not going? What are you avoiding? What you're avoiding is your motivation for not going. That's your payoff. You avoid the pain of what would be brought on if you did it. I play tennis every day. I know why I do it. Exercise sneaks up on me. I hate jogging. You ever see me running through a neighborhood? Shoot whoever is 10 feet behind me because they are chasing me. I'm not jogging. I'm being pursued. So please knock off whoever's right behind me. I'm not jogging. I hate it. But I'll run 3 miles on the tennis court, no problem, because we're keeping score. There's a ball involved. There's something to chase. I'm keeping score. So it sneaks up on me. It's my social life. It's my exercise. It's my competition. I'm a jock at heart. It meets several needs. I know why I do it. It's also important for my health. So I've done it for years and years and years. So I know why I do that. Just like I know why I don't do cocktail parties. I know why I work. Frankly, I don't need to work from a financial standpoint, but there are all different kinds of currency. I take a lot of pride in delivering common sense information to people's homes every day for free. 48% of rural communities in America have no mental health professional available to them at all. Zero, zip, nada, nothing. But they can watch my show and get information that's commonsensical and applicable to their lives. I think it serves a purpose. In my opinion, it's the highest and best use of television. I don't think it's the only use of television. I watch sitcoms sometimes that somebody might look at and say, well, that's just mindless programming. Well, you know what? That mindless programming is very important to me because sometimes I want to just relax and just laugh. That's a great decompression for me. I enjoy that. I think everything serves a purpose. So I work for a currency that's not monetary. Well, some of it's monetary, but it's not number one. The currency is that I'm doing something meaningful that I'm proud of. I'm talking about things that matter to people who care, and I know that. So that's what motivates me. I like being number one. I like that. We strive really hard. I know why I do what I do. I don't kid myself about it. And I know why I don't do what I don't do. You need to know that about yourself. But now let's talk about other people. You need to know why other people do what they do. And if you know, then you can motivate them by giving them the currency they need in order to be motivated to do what you want them to do. Let me give you some clues. People's favorite topic is themselves. People's favorite topic is themselves. Now, you may think, oh, I got a buddy, his favorite topic is football. No, it's not. His favorite topic is himself. He wants to talk about what he thinks about football. He wants to talk about what he thinks the Giants are going to do or the Cowboys are going to do or the 49ers are going to do. His favorite topic is him or herself. Now, here's a scary reality. I've talked to you about this a little bit before. We believe people who like us. Think about what I just said. We believe people who like us. We believe people because we feel liked by them. So if somebody is a good audience and we feel like they really like us, you got somebody, you say, they really like me. They are interested in what I have to say. They laugh at my jokes. They pay attention to what I say. They seem to be focused when I'm around. I really feel liked by them. The truth is, unconsciously, you tend to believe that person more than somebody who doesn't like you or who is neutral on you. They're a good audience. And if they know that, they're playing to your ego. Now, they may really like you. There's no question about that. But if that's true, they're going to enjoy validity. They're going to enjoy being believed by you. Now, let's translate that into behavior for you. If you want to be persuasive with someone, be a good audience. If you want to be persuasive to someone, make sure they feel liked by you, accepted by you, validated by you. Because if they do, they're going to feel comfortable with you. And when they feel comfortable with you, they will like you. And when they like you, they are more prone to believe what you say. So if you say, this is a really good car, this would be a good choice for you, and they feel liked by you, they're more likely to believe you when you say, this is a good car for you. So if you're a car salesman and you can make that customer feel liked by you, you're going to have a lot better sales record than you would otherwise. What's the theme song from the old sitcom Cheers? You like to go where everybody knows your name. Right? People like to be accepted. They like to feel like they belong. If you can make people feel accepted, make them feel liked by you, you're going to be a lot more persuasive.